everyone, I'm Candace, and I'm here with the Bookalicious talk. And I think it was started by the collab channel Bookalicious, and I saw it on the Chapter Chick channel, and I just decided to do it for myself. So let's get started. Um, what percent of books do you get from the library, and what percent do you get elsewhere? I pretty much don't have any money, so the books that I want to read, I usually get from the library, and if not, then if I really, really want to read it, then I'll order it online or I'll go to the bookstore and get it. But usually, if I buy books at the store, like I usually get it from Goodwill, and that's just because it's really cheap and it's something that I've been wanting to read or just sounds interesting. So I'd say most of it comes from the library. And number two, what character would you want to be and why? I would have to say Scout because um, I just can really relate to her. And when I was growing up, it just brings a lot of memories from childhood, even though the book was written in 62, I think. I think that's how all our childhood was, minus, a few different things, obviously. But, it was just so innocent. And it, just shows how all we wanted to do all day was have fun and play with our friends. And I was a lot like her, too. Like, I was a huge tomboy, I still am, and I'd still rather hang out with, boys and girls. And, I wanted to dress. I hated dresses. I was my mom's first child and first daughter. And so she wanted to dress me up in dresses and do my hair and make bows and all this stuff. And I was like, no, I'm not having it. So I was pretty much just like her. What is your favorite book from your childhood? I would have to say either Half Magic, and I don't know who that's by, or The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. What is your favorite book? My all-time favorite book ever is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. And this book was just, like I said, it just shows, just childhood and how it's so innocent and how, I think it was interesting too that it was written from Scout's point of view because it just shows how no matter what, we all have our views and everything and but when we're younger, it's so innocent and it's just interesting to see the racial tension from her point of view and how she just doesn't understand it at all. And it's interesting because it kind of makes us realize, like, yeah, why do we think those things? And I love this book. I don't usually reread books, but I've reread this book, like, as you can see, like 4 or 5 times. It's a great book. Um I was assigned it in ninth grade, and usually I didn't really do too good in high school, so when I was assigned books, I didn't do it. I didn't read it, and but in ninth grade I was starting a new school and I wanted to get off on the right foot, so I read this book, and my teacher was great. He actually grew up in Alabama where this book was based, and so he kind of explained all the little things about it and everything. So I love this book. What book series do you have the most books of? Like I said, I don't have much money, and so when I go to the store and when I go to like when I went to Borders, I saw the Morganville Vampire series, and normally I wouldn't get it because there's like, don't quote me on this, but there's like 10 books in the series. I think there's more, and I don't have the money to go get all those books, but the first and second were on sale for pretty cheap, so I have the first four books, which is the two bind ups, which is volume one and volume two, which has volume one has 2 books and volume two has 2 books. And then I have number 5 and number 9. And I think that's the most I have because I have like only Forever, the Maggie Steve. That's the only one I have in Sugar. The other ones I got from the library. So yeah, I think that's the one I have the most of. Do you buy used books or used.com? I buy used books. I love used books. Just because I figure it's nice to have nice books and that are look nice. But usually when you go to I go to Goodwill and I don't have any with me, but a lot of the books I get from Goodwill look like they're in perfect condition, and you pay like $1 or $2 for them. So, what is your favorite hottest guy or girl? I'm not really sure. Like, growing up, I was like so in love with Edward from Twilight. I loved him just from the book. I think the movie was stupid, but as far as girl, I don't really no. I like more boy characters. So, what is your favorite book cover? I don't like of all time. I'm not really sure, but right now it has to be either this one, which is Snowdrops by A.D. Miller. I think it's really really cool. I love Snowflake. I think it's Snowflake and then her face. And then I also really really like um this one, Dreams of the Dead by Perry O'Shaughnessy. I love this and the I think it's so pretty the colors. You can't really see, but it's more of an aqua color than a blue. But what is your favorite type of book cover? I like creepy books like this. I love just how it's so creepy and it's just I don't know. Another one I really like is this one because I don't know if you can tell, but it looks like her skin is blue too, just like the cover, and it just looks really creepy and it creeps me out, and I love that. So, what is the first book you read? I have no idea. Probably Dr. Seuss. My dad was reading to me when I was in my mother's womb, and he said that's what started my love of reading. So I have no idea. What is your favorite book to movie adaptation? This tag has a lot to do with like favorite books and stuff like that. And like I said, To Kill a Mockingbird, my all-time favorite book ever. If you haven't read it, I highly suggest reading it. It's amazing. And so I want to not be redundant. So this is my favorite book to movie adaptation. But to not be redundant, I'd say Time Traveler's Wife because I think most book to movie adaptations suck, but I think that one was amazing. So when did you start making videos on YouTube? I started on September 2nd, 2011, so not too long. But yeah, and then on to number 13. What is the best place to read? My favorite place to read is, even though I love reading, I know that some people can sit in a crowded room where it's loud and noisy and they can just, get into their book and just disappear. I can't do that. It has to be dead quiet. It has to be, somewhere comfortable. So wherever, even if it's in the middle of a forest, as long as it's quiet, I love to read like that. Have you ever written your own fan fiction for a book? No, I haven't. I love writing. I used to be really good at it in high school, but I've never tried. If you could only read 3 books for the rest of your life, what would they be? Again, I'm probably going to be really redundant, but the first one would have to be To Kill a Mockingbird, and the second would have to be Mystic River by Dennis Lehane, and that's another one of my favorite book to movie adaptations. The movie was amazing, but 3 books that if I could only read 3 books for the rest of my life, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, Mystic River by Dennis Lehane, and I guess Time Traveler's Wife by Audrey Niffenegger. What is the longest book you've read? I think it's Needful Things by Stephen King. I'd go get it, but it's upstairs. But if you read a book, what would the title be and why? I'm not really sure. I will get back to you on that. The last book. What is the last book you read? The last book I read was, I don't have it with me, but it was Perfect in the Pretty Little Liars series by Sarah Shepard. This is the 4th one. This is the one I'm reading now, and I'm about like 100 pages in. So, how many books did you read last month? I read 11 in the month of August. What is the last book you read? Oh, okay. I guess I went on order. But number 18 is how many books did you read last month? And that was 11. And then what is the last book you read, which is Perfect by Sarah Shepard. Do you fantasize yourself in books you like? Yeah, I guess when I was younger, I used to, fantasize that I was in love with Edward and, everything like that. So, but I don't do that anymore. What is your favorite bookstore? It used to be Barnes and Noble, and then I got my Kindle, and I realized that if you get books online, it's a lot cheaper. If you go to my favorite bookstore is probably Goodwill, just because Goodwill out here has like 7 shelves of books, and they're really good books, and they're in great condition, and they're the most expensive book I've seen was the Harry Potter Deathly Hallows, and that book was like $4, and it was in pretty good condition. So, hardback or paperback. When I was younger, my dad would take me to the bookstore, and obviously he didn't want to pay like 25 bucks for a hardcover, book. So instead, he'd get me three or four of these little tiny paperbacks. So I used to love paperbacks, and I used to think it was a lot easier because I'd take them and I'd go like this. And now I hate that because it breaks the spine or whatever. And so now I do like hardcovers or hardback, but I just hate that they're so expensive. So if I can find a cheap one, then I choose hardback. Do you have more than one copy of the same book? No, I don't, because I think that if, like I said, I don't have too much money, so if I do go to the store and I want to get a book, I'd rather get a book that I haven't read. So, but I do want to get some copies of books that, like a nice copy of, some of my favorite books, and then the paperback where I can reread and stuff like that. Would you rather read about vampires or werewolves? Vampires. I love vampires. I'm obsessed with them. And then the last question. Do you own more than 150 books? If not, would you? I would love to. I will show you my bookshelf. It's getting a lot bigger, but like I said, I used to not collect my books. I used to, get them, read them, even if I love them, I would try to give them away just because I didn't have room. When growing up, I never had a bookshelf, even though I wanted one. So I don't have all the books I've read. If I did, I would probably fill up like 7 rooms of bookshelves. So that is the end of the Bookalicious tag, and I tag anyone who watches this video, and yeah. So I'll put the person that started it in the down bar, whatever. All right. Well, happy reading and happy day.